The ancient roots of hockey-like games, a journey through time. The sport we now know as hockey, whether played on ice or grass, is a fast-paced, physical, and strategic game that captivates millions around the world. However, the origins of hockey are far more ancient and widespread than the modern regulated versions suggest. Throughout history, many cultures across continents developed games involving sticks and balls. These games shared elements of modern hockey, forming a web of influences that eventually shaped the sport we see today. This document explores, in depth, the history of hockey-like games, starting from the earliest human civilizations through to the structured games of medieval and pre-modern Europe. It examines the cultural, ritualistic, recreational, and martial aspects of these games and connects them to the evolution of hockey. 1. Early evidence of stick and ball games. 1.1. Ancient Egypt, c. 2000 BCE. In ancient Egypt, artistic depictions from tomb paintings and bas-reliefs show figures using curved sticks to hit a small round object. Found in tombs such as those of Beni Hassan, these depictions suggest that a game involving sticks and balls was played for recreational or ceremonial purposes. Scholars debate whether this was a sport for the elite or a game of ritual importance. These early examples provide the first clear evidence of human fascination with striking a ball using a tool. 1.2. Ancient Greece, c. to 500 BCE. The ancient Greeks played a game known as karatizeion, which involved using sticks, charon, to hit a ball. This game, often played by youths, was popular in gymnasiums and training fields. While specific rules are unclear, Greek pottery and vase paintings depict scenes strikingly similar to modern field hockey. The emphasis on agility, control, and teamwork points to a structured recreational sport. 1.3. Mesoamerican civilizations. In pre-Columbian Mesoamerica, several civilizations, including the Aztecs and Mayans, played games involving balls. While the most famous of these games, the Mesoamerican ball game, ulama, was played with hips and had no sticks, other less documented stick-based games existed. These were often part of religious rituals and sacrifices, blending sport with spiritual belief. Though not directly related to hockey, the cultural centrality of ball games in these societies underscores the universality of sport. 1.4. China and Mongolia. Ancient China saw the development of a game called Beiku, primarily in Inner Mongolia. It was a stick and ball game played on horseback, and its resemblance to modern polo is noteworthy. The game's objectives and skills closely mirror those required in hockey: coordination, speed, and strategic passing. Played by nomads and soldiers, Beiku served both as training for battle and as entertainment. 2.1. Shinty, Scotland. Shinty, or Camanachd in Gaelic, has been played in the Scottish Highlands for centuries. It uses a wooden stick, caiman, and a hard ball, and the game is traditionally played on rough terrain with few rules. Shinty is considered a direct precursor to both field hockey and ice hockey. The physicality and strategy involved in Shinty contributed significantly to the development of modern hockey in the British Isles. 2.2. Hurling, Ireland. One of the oldest and fastest field games in the world, hurling involves a wooden stick, hurley, and a small ball, sliotar. Played in Ireland for over 3,000 years, hurling is mentioned in ancient Irish mythological texts. Although more akin to lacrosse in its aerial play, hurling influenced the stick and ball games that emerged in the British Empire and North America. 2.3. La Soule and Choule, France. These traditional French games were chaotic village-wide affairs. Players used sticks or even hands to move a ball to a goal, often many miles away. The games could last for hours or even days, and injuries were common. Choule in particular involved the use of curved sticks in a defined ball, bearing resemblance to early field hockey. 2.4. Bandy, Northern Europe. Bandy was a winter sport played on frozen rivers and lakes in Scandinavia and Russia. Using curved sticks and a ball, teams attempted to score goals on ice. Bandy had structured rules and positions. Much like modern hockey, it gained popularity in England during the 19th century and significantly influenced the rules of early ice hockey. 3. Indigenous games across the world. 3.1. The Dene and Inuit of Canada. Before the arrival of European settlers, Indigenous peoples in Canada had their own games involving sticks and balls. The Dean people played games on ice with curved sticks, and similar games were documented among the Inuit, often using bones or frozen objects as pucks. These early forms of ice games were crucial to the eventual development of ice hockey in Canada. 3.2. Native American Stickball. Though more closely associated with the origins of lacrosse, Native American tribes across the eastern U.S. played stickball with long sticks and small balls. Some versions included ground-based play resembling field hockey. 3.3. Japan and Korea. Traditional games in Japan, like Kamari, and Korea involved ball games, though most were focused on foot-based play. However, archaeological and historical records hint at minor regional games that involve stick-like implements and team-based objectives. 4. Evolution into modern hockey. 4.1. Codification of field hockey in England. Modern field hockey began to take shape in 18th and 19th century England, influenced by school sports like Harrow football and Cambridge rules. 4.2. Ice hockey in Canada. Ice hockey was first documented in the 1870s in Canada. The game combined bandy rules with local innovations, such as using a flat puck instead of a ball. The first organized indoor hockey game took place in 1875 in Montreal. Canadian contributions, especially through institutions like McGill University, led to the formalization of rules and the spread of ice hockey to the US and Europe. 4.3. Global expansion. The British Empire was instrumental in spreading field hockey to its colonies, including India, Pakistan, Australia, and South Africa. Ice hockey, meanwhile, spread via Canadian immigrants and exhibitions, reaching Europe and the Soviet Union by the early 20th century. Hockey became a global phenomenon with the establishment of international competitions like the Olympic Games and World Championships. 4.4. Women in hockey. Women began playing field hockey in the late 19th century. The first women's hockey club was formed in 1894 in England. The sport quickly grew in popularity, and by the 20th century, international competitions for women were well established. And female participation continues to grow worldwide. A timeless game, hockey, in its many forms, is not a product of a single time or place, but the result of millennia of human creativity, competition, and collaboration. Whether it was Egyptian nobles, Scottish warriors, or Inuit children on frozen lakes, people have always found joy in the simple act of striking a ball with a stick. The ancient roots of hockey reveal not just the history of a sport, but the shared human experience of play and community. As hockey continues to evolve, it carries with it the legacy of countless cultures and centuries past.